when I was younger, like a lot younger, like still in high school, I was teaching people how to meditate because I thought it was cool and I just learned it myself. But almost everyone I taught was having hallucinations inside their mind, like visions and stuff, and I could never get that, and I was jealous. But not everybody's the same. Some people will experience visions inside their head. My teacher told me that he used to experience a brother of his that was dead would come and speak to him all the time in his head while he was meditating. I don't know. That's what he said. And some people have floating feeling, like you float and come out of your body. And you're like, whoa, I feel like I'm 10 feet off the ground. Or myself, I feel like I'm swinging in a hammock sometimes. And I know I'm not in a hammock, but it feels like it. But I've never had visions or anything like that. Not really. I've got some pretty interesting stories, but not in that sense. But that's for another time. Yeah. So if you see lights inside your eyes, like I know it's supposed to be dark, but sometimes you'll see colors, circles, and they might go whew, whew. If you see things that could be the start of a vision thing, just you don't need to force it out. It's like, oh, I need to think of black. Don't try to push it out. Just, you don't want to make things happen, but you don't want to interrupt them either. So if something tries to happen, just let it happen. Just let it go.
Today for me was purple.
Purple? Today?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Usually I see colors and
yeah.
It was just kind of clouds of purple.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. Purple, I would say, is the color of, Hatsumi would say that's the color of martial arts. If you see purple in someone's aura, for instance, and that's a whole other subject, auras, but if you see purple in someone's aura, that usually means they're very skilled in martial arts or with their bodies. Or sometimes magicians have purple too, but they're skilled in a different way. They're skilled in tricking your eyes. But yeah. So yeah, if you don't see anything and it's always exactly the same, that's cool too. Doesn't matter. The goal is to know yourself. If you have anger issues, that'll help. If you have addictions, that might help. It's really just about calmness. Being a calm and a good person. And it helps you to achieve that, that's all. Yeah. Any questions? Was that your first time?
Yes.
How did it feel?
Relaxed.
Good. Yeah.
Very relaxed.
Just don't fall asleep. In Buddhist temples, I guess, in Buddhist temples, if they'll have 100 monks in a square area all meditating, but there's usually one monk that walks around with a stick. Yep.
Actually, we watched this
Oh yeah?
yesterday, last night, I think. Yeah, about the
Yeah?
monks.
And if they look like they're falling asleep, because if you're meditating like this and you're doing this, it's kind of clear that you're not meditating anymore. They'll crack you with that stick, because it's all about discipline too, self-discipline.
A wood stick or a metal?
Wood, yeah, like a piece of bamboo. Yeah.
Where can you find this to do at home?
I have the whole thing if you want it on the computer, but I have multiple versions because they put this out every year. They do it all over again, like a little bit different. It's basically the same thing. They do it for 21 days. I think I have one that has 22, just because after 21 days it's like, surprise, here's one more. But it's basically the same thing. I think I have one, Deepak himself doing it. But it's usually David G because of his voice. He has a commanding voice, a radio voice. But yeah, if you want it, I can give it to you. Yeah. I have several years of them. And I have all kinds of binaural beats, which is what we talked about, but we didn't do. Enigma. Do you remember that old band? Enigma? They were good. If you listen to them when you're meditating. Whew.
Enya has some.
Who?
Enya.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I said. They may not be meant as meditation music, but you'll come across music that would be perfect. You're like, oh, this does it. Trance, people used to dance to trance, but sometimes you find the odd trance music that's just good for meditating. It's like, ooh, this is good. But what I say is, if you're driving down the road and music comes on and it gives you goosebumps up your spine, or that tingle, is probably a good one.
Big diesel engine running. Low pitch.
Yeah,
Maybe the
I bet.
It's low. Just
Yeah. It's funny you say that because I made a few tracks of the engine on Star Trek. You know, the engine of their ships. The background noise. And I made 30 minutes of that, just that one sound. And it works really good.
the big engines, I work with big ones, and the RPM is like 70, 76 RPM. So it's almost one rotation per second. So they go boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Very low pitch.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Very low pitch.
I saw, we not too long ago, we watched a video of a car. Just a regular car, but it had a huge Hemi engine sticking out of it. And it was so low, I couldn't even imagine how it stayed running. It would go like that slow. And I'm like, holy, how is that still running? But it was, and then when he pitched on the gas, of course, all four tires would rip and grip. But yeah, it's strange things that we find. Or why do people fall asleep in a car when you're traveling? Right, it's just that. Yeah, the right frequency. Yeah. So there, that's your intro, or maybe not intro if you had more experience. But and if you want a copy of the all 21 days, I can do that.
Did you try the white noise?
Yeah, like static. Yeah.
It works on kids, but get me nervous. I don't know why.
Makes you nervous.
I don't like it.
At the church, I know at the church, if you go to speak to the pastors, they'll close the door and they have speakers outside of all their offices and they turn it on and it's white noise. Just so you can't hear what they're talking about inside. Which is different, cool, works.